Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3,000 Songs of the Rock Era. Today I'm up to song number 2484, and that one is Happy Days by Pratt McClain. Came out in 1976, went to number 5, and here's a picture of the single cover. And I think you guys probably know this was featured on a very famous TV show called Happy Days. Before I get into that, it's also featured on their compilation album. Happy Days and other theme songs. But here's a picture of Pratt and McClain. Um, they only had a couple hits. They're only I forget what their other hit was. I forgot to write it down. I went to number 71. This is not that important, but here's a picture of the poster for the TV show Happy Days, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. I'm gonna react to the theme song, so hang on it for a second. Let me do that.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are all happy and free. These days are all share them with me. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue. There's nothing can hold me when I hold you. It feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rockin' and rollin' all week long. These days are all happy and free. These days are all share them with me. Go and cruise her around the town. Show everybody what I found. Rock and roll with all my friends. Hoping the music never ends.
Okay, that's a sample of the theme from Happy Days, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. Very cheerful song, I think, and they made it sound kind of like a 50s song, I think, you know. And Happy Days was a good show. I was never a big fan of the show, but I watched several episodes, and I remember Henry Winkler as the Fonz, who just about every teen and preteen girl in the country was drooling over for a few years. He's pretty cool. You know, but it was a fun show. I mean, I liked Richie Cunningham and his family. They were more the mainstream Americans. I'm not going to go over the whole show because I'm sure you guys have all seen it. But kind of a pretty good depiction of the 50s, I'd say. And I think it was based on the movie American Graffiti, which is an excellent movie, by the way. If you guys haven't seen American Graffiti, I highly recommend it. It also starred Ron Howard. There were a couple, it's interesting. I'm just going to say a little bit about American Graffiti. That was really a sleeper movie. It came out in 1973. It was directed by George Lucas, by the way. Same guy who directed all the Star Wars movies. And it came out, I think, 4 years before Star Wars. And it really kind of, set the stage for him. And, the 70s, I mean, kind of a bleak decade. I can kind of see why there was a 50s revival in the 70s because we'd had a lot of crises, including Vietnam and Watergate and inflation and unemployment, all that great stuff going on in the 70s. People were looking back to the glorious 50s, when life seems simple by comparison, I guess. That's kind of what nostalgia does. There were a lot of problems in the 50s, obviously, like segregation and a lot of racism and sexism. But, that wasn't featured on the show, obviously. But, what else can I say? I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I can say about it. I mean, it was a fun show and, good acting. And, oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that Ron Howard, he starred in American Graffiti, and so did Cindy Williams, and they both went on to Happy Days. So you can kind of think of Happy Days as a little bit of a continuation of American Graffiti in a way. And I think the Fonz was supposed to be, I forget the name of the character in American Graffiti, but there was the kind of cool, slick, guy with a yellow car, the kind of guy who was the big racer around town, the big show off guy, trying to win all the local car races. I think that's what the Fonz character was based on, pretty much. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the theme song from Happy Days. So thank you for watching. Here's a little Elvis thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see what it's say. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.